chat. Happy Wednesday. We are back and we are doing a paint study. We haven't done one of these in a really long time, so we're gonna see how it goes. Switch my camera there a little bit. I always end up like hunched over my tablet, so I'm never sure where to keep it. Because sometimes I sit up properly, and then other times I don't. Alright, so chat, let me break down kind of what I'm thinking today. This is what we're gonna do. So, first off, you can see I've got a reference here. I'm not sure I'm gonna stick with how I have the canvas toned. Two things I think I want to achieve with this picture. I really like that we can see them in the rearview mirror, but I feel like we can't tell enough that it's a rearview mirror, so I think in the version we do, I want to extend, let me show you guys what I mean. I want to extend these sides, like here and here, so that they fit the whole composition. So I definitely want to do that. Another thing I want to do is I edited this photo already, and I kind of had a balance between greens and this kind of oversaturated blue. And I think I want to kind of exaggerate that more. This is gonna be a very stylized painting. And I think also, I don't know if what the proper name is for it, but you know when you take photos and sometimes around the edge areas of things, let me point it out here. They'll be usually people will remove it, but I think it's called chromatic aberration or whatever. It's usually around the edges of stuff, especially where the sky is. And I think what I want to do with this painting is kind of exaggerate that. And I'm gonna hit it with reds and oranges in those zones. But our main color scheme, I actually think palette wise is gonna be almost this turquoisey blue, right? And then I want to go in with, I'm thinking more greens than you would think. And so, hear me out, chat. I don't usually do this. But what if we really tone the canvas, with a really stark color? Normally I do this is about how I'll tone it, you know? But what if we were a little bit more bold and we do something like this? I think I'm gonna add a texture to it, because I also did add some grain to this photo, you'll notice. I like that vibe, so I wanted to add kind of a similar texture when we started painting it. So I'm thinking that. And then also, what else, chat? You know, let's make a separate layer for this little color thing I put out here. I really do. I think we should grab a a reference picture of how I want it to be colored. And then let's put a white color behind this here, just so we can see it a little bit better. There we go. Oh, that is not the right layer. Alright, chat, here we go. Also, I didn't realize what we have here. We've got red, green, blue, RGB. Except our reds are gonna be our 10% color. There's not gonna be that much of it. We're gonna use that as accent. I think I wanna hit areas around the ears. Let me name this. When we're painting it, what if, chat, what if we, all these little sections here where we get backlit, we can hit those with some of that light. And you may have noticed in the title of my stream about, in the thumbnail, using a reference photo as a guide, but not necessarily a direct dictation of how the finished painting is gonna look. And so we're gonna do very, very stylized today. I think in my other paint studies we did a couple months ago, I did stick relatively close to the image, but I don't want to go like hyper realism with this one. I just kind of want like the dogs to look slightly, maybe almost like on the cartoon side, but like painterly. And I just want to like play with some colors and kind of exaggerate what I'm seeing. So that's what we're gonna do. Also, there's one other thing I was thinking for this painting, but now I can't remember what it was. Oh well, I'll remember at some point. So we've got, let's get our reference board all in order. Let me quick Google. I can't spell this, but I'm gonna try. Okay, chromatic aberration is an optical defect that occurs when a lens fails to focus all the colors of light to the exact same point. Okay, so that's what's happening in the photo. And so we're actually gonna do it on purpose. Check this out, chat. Let's steal this off the internet as like inspiration. This is exactly what I want to try and do here. See these like colors hitting the edge? This is a really nice, actually. So we're gonna use that as a guide. And then I think that's about the only thing we need. We got our little like color palette kind of loosely spaced out. The only other thing I wanted to do, chat, is I'm going to make sure that this painting, right now my canvas is 5,000 pixels by 6,000. And I just want to build in like a ratio here. Whoops. I keep hitting my trackpad. She'll run a screen. I just want to make sure, guys, that when I print this, like I have intentions, like if this turns out good, I want to print it and give it as a gift. So I'm just gonna make sure that it fits like a print standard size. So I usually make my canvas really big, like excessively. And then what I'll do is I'll go in with like a rectangle. Well, I put an accent on that for some reason. We're gonna put in a rectangle. And what I do is I turn off the fills and I just put like a thin line on the stroke. And I will set it to like, here chat, let me show you. So I used to have an Etsy, I have them on Gumroad now, but guys, I used to have an Etsy, and what I had for my digital prints is, let me show you guys, this chart. So there were 5 different images you would get with it, right? And this is how it works in my Gumroad now. And they each had different, so they were each in folders of ratios. And so your 4 and 5 ratio, right, like this one could be printed into a 4 times 5 inch, an 8 by 10, 12 by 15, 16 by 20, and so forth. And so I think I'm just gonna go with like, it's most likely they might just print it smaller, so I think I'm just gonna go with the 8 by 10 ratio. So what I do is I just do 8 inches by 10 inches. Chat, where I go wrong. Oops. Fat fingering. Okay. There we go. So now we have this little rectangle. And if we move it, we just have to make sure that the constraints are locked in so it doesn't change the size and the width. And then I just expand it like as big as it'll fit in here. And I'm gonna try and paint in this zone. I may not necessarily perfectly fit it, but that's what's gonna happen. All right, now we center it. And I usually keep that one on top. And I'm just gonna lock it in place. We can lower the opacity a little bit. Let's do that, chat. I don't want it to be distracting me. One thing I think I've learned the most is just kind of like having more forethought. Hey Coco, guten Abend. Lange nicht gesehen. Wie geht's dir? Guten Abend. Mir geht es gut. Heute machen wir ein Paint Study. Also wir malen diese Hunde hier und wir versuchen die Gemälde in einen Stream fertig zu machen. So ja, also meine Nachrichten kamen erst nicht durch, deswegen habe ich zweimal Guten Abend geschrieben. Mach dir keine Sorge. Ich glaube, es ist, weil ich hatte andere Windows geöffnet und sie waren in die oberen. Ich kann das nicht auf Deutsch erklären. I had different windows open while I was looking for references, Gecko, and I think if I don't have the chat pulled forward, it doesn't update. That was my bad. Sorry. So yeah, chat, I think we got everything in order. I think we're just gonna get started by toning the canvas and adding texture. I think that's the first thing we're gonna do. I'm just gonna erase this because we don't need this right now. If I save this file. Alles gut, ich bin sehr gespannt auf dein heutiges Projekt. Ja, ich auch. Es wäre ein bisschen schwer, glaube ich, aber ich glaube, es wird auch Spaß machen. Ja, ich glaube, das ist richtig. Es ist... wie lange ist es, seit ich... Letzte Woche habe ich nicht mit dir gesprochen, also es ist fast 2 Wochen, seit ich auf Deutsch sprechen muss. Also mein Deutsch ist wieder schlecht geworden. Yeah, guys, my German is terrible again because it's been a hot minute since I had to speak it. So Gecko, have mercy. All right, let's do this, chat. I think I'm gonna grab... Hold up. I have a brush that I made. Yeah, this one. Although this may take a long time. Ja, ich war sehr beschäftigt in letzter Zeit, aber nun bin ich wieder mal hier. Das freut mich sehr. It's lagging out a bit, guys. I don't think we're gonna be able to use this. I got a better idea. Here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna fill it with this red color. And then we're gonna see what textures we can find in here. So we're gonna use another rectangle. See what fills I can find in the pattern. Oh, this doesn't look... I made this the other day for my little silly duck show. It's not updating for some reason though. Chat, we're probably gonna crash Photoshop. Anyone want to place bets? Oh no, this doesn't bode well. I hit enter and nothing's happening. Oh, something happened. Okay, it updated. All right, chat. What do you guys all think of this texture? I think this is gonna be good. So what I'm gonna do, if I keep this as a regular shape, it's gonna be a little bit harder on the file. It's gonna make the file larger. So what I usually do is rasterize this layer so it turns it into a non-editable shape, and it's just essentially pixels now. And then what I can do is try some of these overlays so we can see the texture come through the red, but not too much. This is nice. Linear burn. And then I think I'm gonna merge these. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's get the sketch down. What am I looking for, chat? Yeah, probably this brush. Ist das eine Herausforderung für dich oder fällt es dir leicht? Wait, hold up, Moment mal. Also ich muss ein bisschen langsamer sprechen, dann habe ich Zeit, meine Gedanken richtig auszusprechen. Also ist es schwer für mich, was zu malen? Oder vielleicht verstehe ich nicht die Frage. Bezeichnung. Let's see. If the question is it hard to like for a painting, like to start a painting? Also, glaube ich, ist ein bisschen schwer. Das kann ich richtig aussprechen. Es ist schwer für mich am Anfang. Also, es ist immer ein bisschen. Es macht man ein bisschen nervös, weil man weiß nicht genau, wie man anfangen soll. Aber wenn man fast zu Ende des Gemäldes ist, glaube ich, habe das so richtig erklärt. Ja, genau, das meine ich. Okay, sehr gut. Ja, dann ist es wird einfacher, als man as one goes along. Wie sagt man das auf Deutsch? Schritt für Schritt wird es langsam einfacher. Aber am Anfang, glaube ich, habe immer ein bisschen Angst. Ich habe ungefähr 7 Jahre lang habe ich Gemälde I've painted. Oh my gosh, my German is so terrible today, Gecko. I've painted a lot, right? But ich habe immer noch Angst am Anfang. Und es ist lustig. Ich glaube, nach 10, 20 Jahren, 30 Jahren werde ich immer noch diese Angst haben am Anfang. Ich glaube, das ist just für mich normal. Ich habe keine, wie sagt man das? Yeah, oh my gosh, my German. I'm losing my vocabulary. Gecko. Ich brauche Hilfe heute. Ja, aber ich hoffe, das hatte Sinn gemacht. Ja. Also ich hoffe, irgendwann in die Zukunft werde ich nicht so viel Angst haben und vielleicht werde ich besser wissen, wie ich anfangen soll, aber jedes Gemälde braucht it's like every painting has its own challenges, ihre eigene Herausforderungen. Also, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where I'm like, I know exactly what I need to do. Except maybe like with the silly duck drawings I've been doing, I have such a kind of like set in pathway. But when it comes to doing something more on the fine art side, so ein bisschen mehr schwer. Ein bisschen Aufregung am Anfang gehört immer dazu, wenn man etwas mit Leidenschaft macht, finde ich. Ja, das ist eine sehr schöne Art, diese Angst zu beschreiben. Ja. Ja. Warum ich liebe, wie Passion auf Deutsch klingt. Leidenschaft. Ja, ich glaube, das ist Passion. Richtig? Wenn übersetzt. Aber ja, ich liebe wie Leidenschaft. Irgendwann hat mehr ein Gefühl von, man muss sehr viel Arbeit auch einsetzen? Ja, weiß ich nicht. I feel like Leidenschaft just has it has a different feeling to me when I hear it than like passion auf Englisch. It just has like a stronger I don't know, because Leiden bedeutet auch like suffering, nicht wahr? Vielleicht habe ich falsch. Ich kann nicht ganz genau richtig erinnern. Aber yeah, I don't know, I really just, I like the way that sounds in German. Alright, chat, we're gonna do the sketch. I think, what I was talking about earlier, I wanted to keep it in. Oh, you know what else, chat, I needed to do one more thing. I like to use a rule of thirds grid. Where's our shape tool? Here it is. Here it is. Alright, if we go into these extra shapes that Photoshop gives you, and you go into tiles, I believe? Yeah, there's a grid in here. And guys, this is like the perfect little grid to guide you. Ich verstehe, dass Leidenschaft ist ein etwas eigenwilliges Wort, aber man kann Passion auch im Deutschen sagen. Ah, wirklich? Es ist also Deutsch ausgesprochen. Oder aussprechen. Verzeihung, Gecko. I can't even read today. Ich kann heute nicht richtig lesen. Also man sagt oft in Deutsch Passion. Oder was ist mehr üblich zu hören? Leidenschaft oder Passion? Hat Leidenschaft vielleicht ein stärkeres Gefühl? Also wenn man es sagt, also... Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder like if words are borrowed or if like maybe English borrowed it, you know? Okay, I don't really want this to snap to the grid. Okay, there we go. Let me lower this opacity. We're just gonna use this a little bit in the beginning. I wanna up that to 5% opacity. There we go. And this is gonna be the sketch layer. Also, man spricht es dann Deutsch aus, als nicht wie Passion, wie es in Englisch klingt, sondern wie Passion. Oh, Passion? Vielleicht das ist... Weißt du, es ist schwierig zu erklären. Ja, das ist schwierig zu erklären. Es ist immer schwierig, wie man etwas sagen soll, ohne es zu hören. Ja, aber ich glaube, du hast das gut geschrieben, also genau, so wie du es gerade gesagt hast. Sehr gut. Oh, danke, Gecko. Ich habe es richtig gemacht. Das freut mich. Like, I did it. I actually pronounced it right, chat. Like, my years of training, maybe they're paying off. Okay, here's an idea, guys. What if we made this rearview mirror a little bit taller? I mean, the edge is going to be a bit thicker here, right? And then, you know, chat, now that I have it directly centered, I almost like how the reference looks better where it cuts the sides. Because I feel like it almost keeps you more drawn into the dogs rather than looking to the corners of the rearview mirror. I don't know. See, it's funny, until you try things, you don't really know. So it's good to, we can still make it wider though, I think. And I'm gonna raise it up so that this dog here on the left, this is Skylar, I want her to be almost in like this zone. And then I'm gonna put this other dog here, this is Tina. I'm gonna put her in around here. So Sky's head's gonna be a little bit above this mark here. And we're gonna put Tina just a little bit below this one here. And we might, they're a little offset to the left. I'm trying to decide if I want to center them more. We can always move it around a little bit. It's hard to know what exactly I want to do. Let's play around with it, I think. We're just gonna block in the little ears. Now guys, this is gonna be really rough in the beginning, but I'm just, right now it's about the composition. Also, one thing I want to change is see how like the bottom of her nose is cut out here. I don't want that. I want to be able to see her whole face. I feel like Sky looks very serious in this picture. So I kind of want to like, I think I want to exaggerate her expression. Ich bin sehr gespannt, wie das Bild am Ende aussehen wird. Ja, ich auch. Ich habe eigentlich keine richtige like a fest Ziel, wie ich es ausziehen gerne. Oh mein Gott. Ich kann jetzt nicht alle diese Wörter in eine richtige Reihe stellen. Aber ja. I'm excited to see how it's going to turn out because I don't have like a really like set in stone direction necessarily how I want it to look. I think it's gonna really like develop as it comes along. Here's hoping. And I'm hoping to have it finished in 2 hours. Wir werden sehen, ob das eigentlich möglich ist. We're gonna see if that's actually possible. Okay, so we got a seat here in front of Sky. I think I'm gonna add this other one here. It wasn't in the photo, but I think it's gonna help tie in the composition. And chat, what if we made Skylar actually a little bit smaller? That way we can kind of tell that she's sitting back a little bit more than Tina, because Tina's actually in the front. But I use like a zoom on my camera, and what that does is like foreshortens the perspective. So they may have been this like far apart. I'll show you guys. But when it takes it, it pushes the image to look more like this. It kind of like flattens it out. I don't know if you guys have ever played around with the camera, but it's really like, you can use it in different ways to kind of like get different effects. But in this case, I'm actually gonna kind of reverse what was done, just because I want there to be a little bit of depth to the image in this section, because the background here is actually going to be really basic, and I think we're going to try and be very painterly so that your eyes immediately go to the sharpest details, which are going to be all in this section here. At least that's what I'm thinking. Make sure you guys can see this all. I think I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I think I'm going to blur more of the background here. All right, and again, chat, I think we're gonna like, I think I made Sky's nose a little too close up. We gotta give a little more space here. We're gonna try and stylize it a little, just to kind of give it a slightly like cartoony effect. I think our head was probably more tilted this way, guys. Make sure I get this right here. Ja, I think that looks good. Die Hunde sehen aus wie aus einer coolen Filmszene. Ja, das stimmt. Sie sehen aus, als ob sie Sonnenbrille tragen sollen. Das wäre sehr komisch. Yeah, it'd be funny, chat, if they had sunglasses on. Yeah, I was like looking in the rearview mirror, and I'm like looking at them, like it looked like they were looking at me, and I was like, I have got to get a photo of this. They were like cracking me up. I was like, this is so cute. And then I was like, well, I could frame the photo, right? Get it printed. And I was like, well, it'd be kind of fun to attempt to paint it, but like stylize it a little. I think we need to kind of fix the shape here. This guy's head a little bit more. Maybe lower the nose. Sky is like one of those dogs that she always looks a little bit worried. There's something about her and it cracks me up. But Tina's much more carefree. Okay, here we go. I feel like the music's like super serious. Alright, we're not gonna do too much more just yet on Sky. I think we're slowly getting that composition a little bit better. I'm thinking here with Tina, if we imagine in the reference where her nose, like, cause her mouth is open, she's panting. Probably would go about this far down. Not sure if you guys can see it. I'll do it in white. And then maybe we'll have her tongue stick out or something. Maybe more to the side. Maybe, I don't know, chat. We're gonna play around with that one. But we can kind of imagine where it would be. Alright, this ear. I don't want it touching the other dog because we don't want a tangent. Try and get the angle. So in the original, her face is kind of like tilted off to the right. But what if, chat, what if we tilt it to, I guess it would be her right now, but to the left. Like, what if we did this? A little slight tilt that way, because Sky is tilted down this way, and then we tilt Tina like this. I think that might kind of like help keep us into the center of the painting. Now, if they're both turned, I feel like it might draw our eyes out this way. This is kind of what I was talking about when we were doing we were finishing the cow painting last week. How just like certain lines, even if it's like the horizon line or like where the hill ended in the case of the cows, sometimes like just curving the edge up or down can kind of help either guide you in or out of the painting. It really depends on what you want. I find with like these portraits, especially with the animals, like the pets, if you want them to be the focus, then try and like get your lines to kind of like lead you in. And so what I think I'm gonna do is have her head tilted this way so that it's kind of like pulling in like this and then in like this. And that's kind of keeps our eyes drawn into that section. Frost Dragons, hello, welcome. We are doing a stylized dog portrait painting. We're gonna attempt to finish it in one stream. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna see how it goes. Now, the only thing about taking like some creative liberties is that I'm going to have to be very careful about capturing the likeness of the dog, because I'm not going to be able to lean too much on the reference as a guide since I changed the direction of the face. How am I doing? I'm doing good. How about you? It's like cooking hot where I am right now, so I'm like sweating. I think I need to turn my air conditioner. Can you please turn down your music? It's hurting my head. Oh, shoot. Yo, chat, anytime the music's too loud, let me know and I can always adjust it. So thank you. Thank you for telling me. Let me turn that down there. All right, it's starting a new song, so we got to get it playing for us to see how it sounds. All right, I turned it down. Let me know if it's still too much. Okay, we're gonna put the ear here. Like this. We might have to lower this mirror just a little bit because I feel like, nah, it's good now, thanks. Yo, no problem. No problem. Just gonna lower. Let's go lower this a little bit. Just so we can fit in the bottom of Tina's face. I want to make sure she fits in there. Alrighty, there we go. I'm not very good at drawing dogs, guys. I probably should have thought about that before I decided on doing this. Mistakes are made. Mistakes are made. Sorry, chat, my one earring is bothering me. I think I gotta take it off. It's like keeps brushing like my headphones, and then I can hear it like rattling. It's distracting me. Hast du das Foto selbst gemacht? Translation, did you? Oh, thank you, Gecko, for translating. Yeah, I did. I did take this photo. I took it a couple weeks ago, but just so you guys know, I was not driving at the moment. We were parked, and so this photo was taken. It was safe. Yeah, I did take it. I kind of want to get back into photography. Also, wenn ich 14 war, habe ich sehr viel Fotos gemacht. Also, ich hatte gedacht, dass ich eine Fotografin, ja, glaube, das ist richtig, werden wollte, aber ja, dann habe ich nach ein paar Jahren nicht so viel Fotos gemacht. Aber habe ich hin und her immer noch die Lust, Fotos zu machen. Also, dann mache ich ein bisschen und das ist genug. Ich male lieber und ich bin sehr froh, dass ich eine Künstlerin bin. Yeah, when I was 14, chat, I was really into photography. But you know, as the years went by, I just didn't do it as much. I liked it, but not enough to like pursue it. I prefer being an artist, but every once in a while I want to take photos, so I do, and then that's enough. Like just kind of like it's nice to have a hobby. Like I feel like it's important to keep one that you don't take too seriously. So I do like taking photos. I'm also gonna angle this. I do kind of like putting a slight angle on the review mirror here. Alright, chat. Considering it's already 2:42 here, I've been going 40 minutes and I've barely gotten the sketch done. We may not finish this today. Did you see my comment on how I was doing? Oh shoot, I'm so sorry. It's my sister's birthday today, so I'm doing great. Yo, tell your sister happy birthday. Are you having like are you gonna have like a party? I mean, I know some people aren't big into like birthday parties. I'm one of them. But that's always fun. Sometimes smaller parties are also fun though. I just want cake or ice cream. And yeah, usually I'll try to take a picture of whatever dessert I have so that like years later in my Google Photos feed will come back and I'll be like, oh, that's what I like. It helps like trigger memories, like what my birthday was like. Because I'm always worried, I'm like, I'm gonna forget and then years are just gonna blow by. We are going to just go to dinner tonight. Oh, that sounds nice. Where she wants to go and then come home and open presents. She's turning 22. Yo, let's go. You gotta play her the Taylor Swift song, 22. Every like time like my siblings turn 22 and then when I turn 22, we would always play. Or at least I would sing it too. LOL, I will. Yeah, let's go. You have to. You have to because it's only 1 year that can happen. We need to have more songs about like different ages so we can make more birthdays. Like I guess it's not really a birthday song, but I feel like more years need to be relevant than like, you know, just 22. Although I feel like there's a lot of songs about like turning 21. Or at least here in the US. I don't know like what the drinking age is in other countries. That's always a big thing here. My sister hates Taylor Swift, so that'll be funny. Oh no. Yeah, she might not enjoy it that much. No, it sounds like she has a good sense of humor then. That's good. That's good. Alright, chat. I think I made the notes a little too wide. Gotta make it a little more small. Dun, dun, dun. I think I need to lower the nose though. Also, she says that 22 is not a fun age. Oh, you know, I shouldn't say this because it really depends on everyone's experience. But when I started to get into my 20s, I feel like I had these expectations of what like your 20s were supposed to be. And I think they're a little overhyped. Because Loki, what are you supposed to do at 22? All the milestones are done. Oh yeah. No, like Loki is true. You also feel like it's yeah, like what are you supposed to do? Like there's nothing to look forward to. And then I feel like the expectations only get higher on you, like as you get older. And so like I was saying, I feel like your 20s are a little overhyped. And more like older people I've talked to have said that like, like once you reach your 30s, it's actually better because you know more of like what you want from life and who you are. And usually by that time, you're like living independently. And so yeah, it's you can make more of your own choices. But the 20s, I think they're a very important time in everybody's life, but I do think they're a little overhyped. Yeah, my cousin is in his 20s and has a fiance. Oh, sheesh, let's go. Yeah. Well, that's also another thing. But I think it's changing, but at least when I grew up, like I feel like my parents and like all the generations around my parents like all got married fairly young. Like my mom, dad, they were all younger than me, like I am now when they got married. And so I think when you grow up, you have this expectation that like when you reach like whatever age your parents got married, like you should be too. Yeah, my sister has a boyfriend. Nice. Yeah, but there's all this pressure that like you got to do this by this age and you got to do this and that. But who's to say you have to? I think that's one of the like the best things I've learned is just that like everyone has their own timeline and just kind of like ignore what everyone else is doing because you don't have to do what they do. Just do your thing and whatever timeline things happen in your life, that's the timeline it happens on. Meine Schwanzige waren ganz nett. Oh, nett, das ist sehr gut. Aber richtig cool würde mein Leben erst als ich vor ein paar Jahren 30 würde. Weniger Chaos, mehr Chill. My 20s are nice, but my life got cooler when I turned 30. Yeah, that's kind of what my older brother says too. And like, I am 26 now, and I'm like my birthday's in November, which honestly isn't too long. And I just feel like my early 20s were definitely a little bit not chaotic for me in a good way, chaotic in like a bad way where I really just didn't know what I wanted. Oh, you made her a birthday card? That's such a nice idea. Yo, I love making birthday cards. Yeah. So on the upside, like Gecko was saying, guys, we got stuff to look forward to. Sorry for making an entire conversation. Yo, that's not an issue. Don't worry about it. We can talk about anything here. Do you like to do like some people do a lot of like written stuff on the front of the card, or sometimes like there's a lot of birthday cards with like puns. Those are funny. Or do you like to do like little doodles? I feel like I've done birthday cards where I made like little like jokes on the front, but I've also done birthday cards where it's just artwork. Those are kind of fun to do. I'm moving at the speed of a snail today. I'm gonna blame it on the heat because it's so hot. I think her nose still needs moved down a little bit. I think I'm unsure how to tackle like this bottom part of her mouth. Maybe we should just start doing some color fills and like figure it out as we go. That's probably a terrible idea, but I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm just gonna hope for the best and do what we can do. Let's try and get this ear shape right. Yeah, on the front of the card it says happy birthday and my sister's name. Very good. Then some squiggles, hearts, and stars. Cute, all in pink and blue. Yo, that sounds nice. That sounds really nice. One year I made a birthday card for my sister and I wanted to put like glitter on it. It got everywhere. There was glitter in my room for months. Yeah, glitter's fun, but you gotta use it with a little restraint. Which I was not doing. There was no restraint. I was just like shaking that stuff on. Then I write a nice note inside. That sounds like a perfect birthday card. All right, chat. Hot take. I mean, I feel like most people would agree with this, but maybe not. But I feel like handmade birthday cards are where it's at. Like, I just feel like they're such a cute idea. And it just feels like that person took like time out to make something like custom for you. Like, I just feel like it's like the sweetest thing. But I've also gotten like store-bought cards that are really beautiful. And I do enjoy getting those because it's really fun to see like other artwork, and I often keep them and I put them up on like my corkboard. So it's kind of like having wall art. Also, I have tea to spill. Oh my goodness. Got tea. All right, you gotta spill the tea. Yeah, but birthday cards. I like handmade ones, but also like store-bought too. It's kind of like a dream to make like an art collection that like can be for birthday cards, maybe like greeting cards, like get well cards. I feel like some of my collections would probably already work. I just haven't put, I need to put more time into like getting them kind of put together. And okay, this does not look like the dog. This does not look like Skylar. I think I need to make it a little more narrow. You know what, chat? I'm gonna draw it. I'm gonna draw this. Hold up. Gotta lock in here real quick. I'm gonna make it a little bit longer because we can use some of the proportions. We follow this angle. This one should be about here. Okay. That looks better. Okay, so I was on my YouTube channel the other day looking my comments and my little YouTube shorts comp, and then I saw a comment that read, oh, sorry, I was like, wait, it was in German? My brain just broke, chat, because I was reading Gecko's next one. Okay, sorry, let me read Gecko's. Handgemachte Geburtstagskarten sind wirklich richtig cool. Ja, ich sollte auch mal eine machen, habe ich nämlich noch nie. Handmade birthday cards are really cool. I should make one, I haven't yet. Ja, es ist sehr Spaß. Selbstgemachtes, handgemachtes Geburtstagskarten zu machen. Yeah, I think it's really fun, especially since like you can really like customize exactly for the person, maybe like something they're like personally into. I think that's just like one of the best parts. First of all, horrible editing, and you're just scrolling on YouTube. It could have been better if you got rid of like buttons and maybe edit and watch things that help you. Yeah. I feel like it's tough. I've been on both sides where I'm like, I'm also a terrible editor, but sometimes there are some videos that are like, man, they made that really, really fast. It's tough. It is tough. All right, you know what? The dog's looking actually better now that I kind of put the eyes in. I think we'll mark out the eyes a little, right? And then I'll use those. Oh, I think that's too far apart. You know, I think one of the first birthday cards I made that was like really like hand drawn. I was like just getting into sketching, and my one older brother was turning 21. So I drew like a pencil sketch of like a wine glass or something. And I made some fun about like getting older and not to whine about it. But I was like, I finally drew like glass and liquid. And looking back, it was a pretty bad sketch, but it was pretty good considering it was like my first year I was really into drawing. Then I replied, no, it took me a very long time to make this, and who are you to tell me how to edit my videos? Oh, that's true. Go to your own videos. Then she to tell me how to spell. Oh my word, because you spelled wrong. I have a little empathy because I'm dyslexic and spelling's always stressful for me. Spelling's a nightmare. Yeah. It's rough, chat. It's alright though, we all make spelling mistakes. Even people who aren't dyslexic. Except us who are dyslexic make a lot of mistakes. I make a lot. But I'm just like, have mercy on me, please. It's always tough because like growing up, anytime someone would like point out a spelling mistake, like you always feel so self-conscious about it because you're like, oh, I'm so stupid, I can't even spell, you know, like because or something really simple. But you know what, the older you get, the more you're like, especially since we have like all the autocorrect and whatnot, you're like, you know what, it isn't that important. It's not as important as people made it out to be. I mean, I'm never gonna win a spelling bee, but you know. Then she sent me to take a chill pill, so she's over here literally telling me how to edit my— oh no, that's tough. Aller Anfang ist schwer, ein deutsches Sprichwort. Roughly all beginnings are difficult. Oh, I like that one. Aller Anfang ist schwer. Chat. You know what I was saying last week? I was like, I gotta write these down so I don't forget, and then I didn't. Well, I'm gonna finally do it. Hold on, let me grab my little notebook. We're gonna keep track of all these really good expressions I'm learning in German because I have a tendency to forget things. So we're just gonna make a page for it. Dun, dun, dun. Alle Anfang ist schwer. Dun, 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 dun. And you know what? I should probably write the translation just in case. I feel like this is a good expression for this painting today. These are difficult. There we go. All right, chat, we got the first one in our book. Let's go. Oh, then I tell her no. She told me that my video was bad. How about editing your own videos? Yours don't look good. Oh no. This sounds like it turned into an ordeal. You're wasting your time leaving hate comment. You could edit your own videos. I don't know, just scroll. Oh man. Echt cool, dass du es auch geschrieben hast. Ja, ich will nicht wieder alle diese Sprichwörter vergessen. I need to remember them all. Now I'm trying to remember the other ones you taught me. I'm like, oh shoot. I don't know if I remember. I'm just gonna have to, maybe I have to go back and watch some of my old videos. Although, oh my gosh, I cringe so hard when I have to listen to myself speak German. Yeah, so that's the T. Yo, that sounds like it was a bit, that was a bit of an ordeal. That's not fun. Yeah. Okay, I think this is getting closer. It was, yeah. Oh man. Well, I think chat, we're gonna have to definitely take more than one day to finish this. But that's all right. This might be a fun study to like really like perfect, you know? Not that anything's ever perfect, but to really put some time into might be a good idea. You know what, chat? I don't think I angled this enough. Hold up. Let's just change this a little. Oh, that's better. Yeah, this is the best. Like, if you don't like how someone edited their own videos, then just leave. Yeah. Yeah, like you don't have to watch their videos if you don't like it. That's a very good point. Maybe they were just like, I know it sounds crazy, but maybe they were just lonely and they wanted someone to talk to. Also, happy late Pride Month to all the gays and other LGBTQIA plus people. Yo, let's go. Yeah, happy Pride Month, everybody. Also, if chat doesn't know, I'm also a like BTS army, and this is also BTS month, which is literally great. Like we get BTS and Pride Month the same month. I'm like, this is amazing. I myself am bisexual. Nice. It's like, because BTS is like whole message. It's pretty much about like loving yourself. I was like, well, and like so BTS month is actually this month because it's the month they debuted. But I'm like, what's the odds of like the two aligning? I'm like, I feel like it's kind of cool. Wait, no, Pride Month was last month? Are you sure? I thought it was June. Shoot, chat. Oh, never mind. Never mind, chat. There went my like army fan theory. It's kind of hard to believe it's June already. I feel like I'm mentally still like back in like March, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm glad it's warmer than March because I don't like cold weather. But it's like we're already halfway through the year and I just don't like, hold on, let me ask good old Google. Oh, that's a good idea. I just don't like saying it's halfway through the year because I'm like not ready to be that far through 2026. I just need time to slow down. Okay, I feel like Skylar's looking a little bit better. We're not quite there yet. It's getting a little better. I feel like Sky looks almost like she has little, like, frowning eyebrows, which makes her so cute. Alright, chat. I'm getting kind of bored of messing with this sketch. So I think what we need to do is one, me turn on my air conditioner because I'm sweating. And two, just start painting. Like, I think we just gotta, alright, already saved that. We just gotta do it. We gotta put on our Nike shoes and do it. Chat, let me turn on my air conditioner and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, let's see. It is this month, my bad, yo. Not a problem. I honestly get things mixed up all the time too. Ich bin auch froh, dass es endlich warm ist, aber momentan ist es hier warm, Regen wieder warm. Ah, wieder. Oh man, also immer im Wechseln. I'm glad it's warmer, but sun and rain take turns at the moment. Ja, es ist gut, wenn es regnet, weil es ist gut für die Pflanzen. Und wir haben auch hier viel Regen und nicht Regen, wir haben viel Regnen. Und aber auch Tage, wo die Sonne scheint und es ist ziemlich heiß. Aber es momentan, there's like a drought, also es ist sehr gut, dass es gibt mehr Wasser. Aber ja, ich liebe es besser, wenn die Wetter mehr, also wenn es sonnig ist, soll ich für ein paar Wochen sonnig sein. Und wenn es regnet, vielleicht nur einen Tag. Aber ich weiß, dass das Es ist gut, wenn es regnet. Okay, I gotta go. Bye bye. Thank you for stopping by, Frosted Dragon. Hope you have a nice rest of your day. Tell your sister happy birthday and Singer 22. 22. It feels like a perfect day. Or night. I don't even know the lyrics, chat. like I used to know it. That song was like hella popular when it came out. Yeah, I like it when it rains a little. Like I know it's good for the plants. But if I'm being honest, I like it when it stays sunny and nice almost all the time. I like consistency in the weather anyway. I'm like a weird personality where I like it when good things are the same, but like bad things aren't, which I feel like is literally everybody. Like sometimes when like life feels too much the same, like it makes me anxious because I just feel like days are just like blowing by and there's nothing really like, there's nothing happening. You know what I mean? But when it comes to weather, that's the one thing where I'm like, no, actually I'd be pretty happy if it was just always perfect weather. I know some people really like rainy days. And I want to like the rainy days better. But some reason I just find myself really undermotivated on rainy days, even though it makes no difference because I sit inside all day. But yeah, I'm just like, all right, this is gonna be our base layer. Yes. All right, chat, we need to choose a brush. Let's see what we got here. That's kind of nice. I think I'm gonna use this one though. All right, I think I'm gonna block in the sky. So we're gonna go in like, I'm just gonna go full saturation on that actually. I'm gonna put it under the sketch. Typically I paint over top, but I don't think I'm gonna do that just yet. We're gonna get it blocked in. That's what we're gonna do. Dun, dun, dun. Alrighty. Okay, can I turn up the music a little bit just because I can't hear it with the air conditioner? But let me know if it's too... Die Musik ist zu laut. And ich kann das... how do I say I can turn the sound down? Ich kann die Laute runterbringen? I don't know. Also es ist immer diese Sachen, die in meinem Kopf so einfach sind. Also wenn ich dann versuche, es auf Deutsch zu sagen, weiß ich gar nicht, wie ich etwas so alltäglich sagen soll. Es ist richtig frustrierend für mich. It's so frustrating. But I'm like, I just want to say, like, that's something that I probably use, like, every day. I'm like, Emma, you should know this. Ich habe bemerkt, also in all die Fremdsprachen, die ich lerne, es ist immer die Sachen, die alltäglich sind. Like one stuff that you say every day, das eigentlich die letzte Wörter, die man lernt, weil am Anfang man lernt mit like Textbook oder sowas und man braucht nicht wissen, wie man turn down the music sagt. Also man lernt Sachen so wie, you know, wo ist der Bahnhof, also wie man mit jemandem begrüßen kann und erklären, wer du bist und wie alt du bist und Sachen so wie das. Aber dann kommt es zu die Wörter, die man mit Freunden oder in ein echt Leben benutzen werde. Und dann, ich habe bemerkt, dass diese Sätze, ich habe keine Ahnung, wie man solche Sachen sagen soll, weil man kann nicht diese, ja, alltäglich Sachen von Textbook lernen, sondern man muss mit echten Leute sprechen und jeden Tag diese Sachen lernen. Der linke Hund sieht aus, als hätte er die Verantwortung. Dieser responsible Hund, ja. Und der rechte Hund sieht aus, als hätte er eine verrückte Idee. Like a silly idea. Ja, also das ist ganz richtig, wie sie eigentlich sind in echtem Leben. Also Skylar ist sehr, kann man serious auf, ja, also, can I just say serious in German? Ich weiß nicht, wie man das auf Deutsch sagt, aber ja. Also Tina sie ist sehr jung, sie ist noch sehr jung, sie ist ja ein bisschen als 1 Jahr alt. Also sie rennt sie spielt immer, also Skylar, serious. Oh, danke Gecko. Skylar ist sehr serious. Sie spielt nach, aber sie ist eine Prinzessin. Das Gegenteil von serious ist albern. Ah, das wusste ich nicht. Danke, Gecko. Also, Skylar ist serious und Tina ist albern. Also, Skylar ist unsere Prinzessin, weil sie behandelt sich sehr viel anders als normale Hunde. Sie ist immer sehr vorsichtig, wenn sie Schritte nimmt. Sie guckt immer, wo sie ihre, wie sagt man, wherever she's gonna put her foot down, like, also, sie ist immer sehr vorsichtig und seriös und ihr Gesicht sieht aus, als ob sie ein bisschen unangenehm ist und auch Angst für die Welt hat. Und wenn sie müde ist, ist es so lustig. Sie sieht aus, als ob the weight of the world is on her shoulders. And it's just like, I don't know why she's like this, but it's so funny. Ich finde es immer toll und lustig, wenn Hunde oder Katzen so wie eine Persönlichkeit haben. Ja, es ist, wie sagt man, ich muss ein bisschen langsamer sprechen. Also, ich spreche zu schnell. Also, Emma spricht langsamer. Es ist lustig, weil Skylar ist ein halb Great Pyrenees und halb Lab. Und Tina ist halb Great Pyrenees und halb, wie sagt, was ist, oh my gosh, I can't remember the other, she's half, shoot, the name of it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my word, I was literally talking about this yesterday. Chat, I can't remember. But like, es ist sehr interessant zu sehen, die Persönlichkeit sie haben zusammen, weil sie beide ein bisschen Great Pyrenees haben. Aber es ist also sehr interessant zu sehen, die Sachen, die wir zuvor gedacht, dass Great Pyrenees Persönlichkeit waren, sind nicht eigentlich genau nur von die Great Pyrenees, die sie hat, sondern es ist nur, dass Skylar ein sehr, how do I say this? She's a very, it's her own special personality, and it wasn't connected to the breed at all. Because like I was saying, like Tina's not serious, right? She's like carefree, and you know, Skylar's so serious. It's really funny to see, like, now that we have Tina, to see the difference. Actually, I think I'm just gonna leave the sketch for now. Ja, ich hoffe, das ein bisschen Sinn gemacht auf Deutsch. Das war sehr schwierig zu erklären. Das tut mir leid, Gecko. Oops, I want to do... You know what, chat, let me bring this color picker over here so you guys can see it a little bit better. Although I don't want it too much in the way. Let's bring it this way a little. just want to make this a little more blue. I don't know why I can't remember what the other breed is. Like, I hate when I can't remember things that I, like, literally know. I don't know if that happens to you guys ever. Actually, I'm gonna make this fairly dark chat. An Anatolian Shepherd. That was the other breed. So Tina is Great Pyrenees and an Anatolian Shepherd. That's what she is. Unfassbar süß. Die beiden ergänzen sich ja auch echt gut. Ja, das stimmt. Sie sieht ein bisschen aus wie Schwestern. Und das ist sehr süß. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with like a dustier yellow-green down here. Yeah, maybe we should leave some like gaps in the texture. Or maybe it would be better if I was using a more transparent brush. The problem is with the transparent brush is that like the file's so big it's kind of lagging it out. And I hate when I have to paint and wait, you know what I mean? I don't know, guys. We could go through with this eraser and erase out a little bit of the texture here and there. Okay, that's probably good. Maybe what if I used... Oh, this one works. Von der Musik kriegt man echt gute Laune. Ah ja, das stimmt. Ja, ich liebe diese Album. Also sie heißt Horizons Volume 2. Und sie sind meine Lieblingsalben, die mein Bruder gemacht hat. Ja, ich liebe alle die Songs, die da drin sind. Yeah, they're very like happy songs. I think that's why I really like it. Also, es gibt auch Momente und Lieder in diese Album, die auch ein bisschen mehr ruhig sind. Also, es gibt eine gute Mischung als Lieder, die Spaß sind und manche, die ein bisschen langsamer spielt. Also eine gute Mischung. Yeah, chat, there's a good like mixture of like quieter songs and then songs that are like more fun and upbeat, which is nice. I told Joe, this might be a little spoiler, I don't know if he's gonna take my idea, but I was like, what if for his third album, he calls it like Broadening Horizons, and each song, because Joe really likes writing songs with instruments from like everywhere around the world and then learning rhythms that are like unique to region. And so I thought, what if he chose like each song would be based on either like a country or a region, and like only use instruments and like musical rhythms from those areas in each song. And then like the album cover could be the little penguin, Reggie, but maybe like on a globe. I'm like, that would be so cute. Echt richtig cool. Ich habe solche Musik immer total gerne gehört, wenn ich für die Uni gelernt habe. Ja, beide die Horizon-Albums sind richtig gut für zu hören, während man studiert. Also manchmal, wenn ich meine Flashcards mache, morgens, dann höre ich diese Albums zu und ja, es hilft mir ruhig zu bleiben, wenn ich nicht die Wörter erinnern und manchmal werde ich ein bisschen wütend auf mich, weil ich so, like, einfaches Wörter nicht erinnern kann, wenn ich meine Flashcards mache. Und dann ist es immer wichtig, Musik zu haben, die mich ein bisschen ruhigt. I'm like not the kind of person that gets like angry. Like I don't throw things, you know? That would be ridiculous. But I'm like, I get frustrated with myself. So I'm like, I was just like, gotta put myself in a good mindset. Especially like when I'm learning like my Japanese kanji and stuff. They're so hard. They really are. And I try to like be kind to myself, but it helps to have some music to set the mood, to keep you from just like totally getting burned out. I feel like music also helps make it a little bit more fun. Es ist immer wichtig, Spaß zu haben, während man lernt. Ja. Alright, guys. This looks pretty bad considering how long we've been working on it. But I actually think it's gonna come together. Like, I actually think it will. I think the cow painting we did a couple weeks ago really kind of like showed like trust the process, just keep going. So we're just gonna keep layering it. Absolut, mit der richtigen Musik fällt einem jede Arbeit leichter. Ja, ich kann ohne Musik nicht arbeiten. Also nach ich aufwache, bis ich ins Bett gehe, also wenn ich allein bin, dann spiele ich den ganzen Tag Musik. Und verschiedene, like, I listen to different genres, aber ich spiele fast den ganzen Tag Musik. Yeah. Guys, I cannot live without music. I just listen to it all the time. Yeah. Music is, next to like art, I feel like one of the most important things like in my life. I know that kind of sounds a little crazy, but it is. I just feel like music, I know music's such a big, I don't know if we would call it a hobby. I don't know. Like, do I call it a hobby? I don't know if it could be called a hobby, but it feels like I really like keeping up with the artists I like. And I like listening to a lot of different genres. So I like having playlists kind of like for different moods. Because, you know, you never know. Like, sometimes the days you just want different types of music. And so I'm like, I'm a very big, like, I've got a bazillion playlists. I'm like one of those people. I can't help it. Oh, you know what we forgot, chat? We need to draw the outline of the back of the car here. I think I'm gonna change that a little too. What if we did like a cross here? Like that. And that part here. And here, the back. Because this little dark section is actually gonna kind of help. I'm kind of like realigning this to however I want it. This is gonna kind of help show us a little bit more of the highlights in them because they're technically in shadow as it is. So we're gonna be really careful with how we kind of like tackle lighting this scene. Because like if we color pick, guys, look how dark this is, right? Like they're not out in the sunlight. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get them to stand forward without actually making this too bright. Because look at even like, this is really bright behind them. But really, in comparison to like the lightest lights, like our whites here, is actually pretty dark. So we're gonna have to make sure we get that balance right when we're just kind of like blocking this in. So maybe we're gonna go in. Let's block out these edges here. Du hast recht, echt schon einen tollen Vorschlag gemacht mit dem Bild. Danke, Bild. Oh, ich habe das nicht richtig ausgesprochen. Danke, Gecko. Ich glaube, ich arbeite ein bisschen langsam. Langsamer als normal heute, aber es macht mir immer Spaß, mit anderen zu reden. Also, ich weiß, dass ich ein bisschen langsamer arbeiten, wenn ich streame. Ich glaube, gibt es, I think I conjugated an English word. Also, weiß ich nicht. Aber das ist okay. Weil es ist auch wichtig, meine Zeit zu nehmen und ein bisschen mehr zu denken, bevor ich die nächste Schritt nehme. It's like, it's important to like think before I keep going. Also, ich glaube, wenn ich stream, dann ist es eigentlich besser. Also, ich arbeite nicht so schnell und man denkt immer, das Schnelle ist besser. Also, wir denken das immer. Aber wenn wir die, like the masters, you look at the master artist, sie hat jahrelang auf ein Gemälde gearbeitet. Und ja, und sie waren nicht mit sich selbst wütend oder ja, sie hatten ihre eigene Zeit genommen und das war total okay. Aber jetzt, heutzutage, denken, dass wir so schnell arbeiten müssen, weil everything's almost like a product, like faster, like how many paintings are you putting out? But if we compare ourselves, like im Vergleich zu, weiß ich nicht, Van Gogh oder Da Vinci, also wir arbeiten eigentlich besser als sie, weil wir schneller sind. Aber ist schneller wirklich besser? Das ist die Frage. Ich glaube nicht, aber es gibt diese Stimme in meinem Kopf, die sagt immer, wenn du arbeitest langsam, dann hast du keine Arbeit. Du wirst nicht bezahlt werden. Also, the modern times call for modern speeds. But sometimes it's nice when I stream, guys, that like I can just take my time and talk about what I'm doing. You know? It's nice to like be able to paint at my own pace. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like I think it's good. Cause that's how it was in the old days. Like they'd paint for years. And you know, it wasn't about working so fast. Also ich glaube, es hat ein bisschen zu tun, dass ich ein Storyboard-Artist versuchte zu sein. Und als Storyboard-Artist muss man sehr, sehr schnell arbeiten. Je schneller, desto besser. Also das hat mir ein bisschen meinen Kopf ein bisschen geändert. Also ich denke immer, wenn ich jetzt langsam arbeiten und auf mehr Details malen oder sowas, dann das falsch ist, aber das stimmt eigentlich nicht. Malen und Storyboarding sind ganz andere Arten von Kunst und ich arbeite nicht für Disney, also ich male nur, weil ich meinen Prozess teilen will mit anderen Menschen. Also ja, ich kann langsam arbeiten und das ist okay, aber ich vergesse das immer und dann diese Stimme in meinem Kopf wird zu laut. Und ja, jeder hat sein eigenes Arbeitstempo, das ist völlig in Ordnung. Ja, ich hoffe, dass in die Zukunft Leute ein bisschen langsamer arbeiten können und das wäre okay. Also ich glaube, es gibt zu viele, there's too many jobs that were pushed like faster. And I just feel like if it's like affecting your mental health in your life, just so you can get one project out, you know, quicker than the other. It's like, I think we have to ask ourselves as like a society too. It's like sure, we achieved the goal, but like, if you sell your soul in the process, was it worth it, you know? I mean, of course, like, I feel like that's never gonna really like fully change, but I hope that like maybe more companies are gonna start getting like maybe owned by like people who actually have been in the shoes of the person who's working overtime and trying to work as hard as they can, and that they'll have a little bit more mercy on them and be like, you know what? Like, the project doesn't get finished, it's not the end of the world. I mean, I know it's important, like, if it's a job or like you do, I don't know, guys. Like, maybe I don't know enough about this topic to talk about, but it's one thing, like, you're doing surgery, right? Like, there is a time limit, like, you can't have the patient under that long, right? But if you're working on, like, marketing campaigns and this and that, like, is it really the end of the world? Like, do we really have to, like, push things? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too much of an idealist, but I just think it's more important that we all can live like happy, healthy lives without sacrificing, you know, our souls just to get something done in like a ridiculous time span. I mean, you think about like, especially in, I guess I can really only speak for the artist field, but like when you think about the Studio Ghibli movies on old Disney animation, it took years to make those, and that was totally okay. And now it's like they need to be like literally as fast as possible. Like just like I feel like the expression like pump and dump is literally how entertainment has become. And it's tough because it's not like humans are a machine, you know? Like, it's one thing if you're making something that can be made by a machine, right? But like art, like it's a real human soul making it, and you put in all the hours. Like, you gotta slow down. It's like, you know, if this movie doesn't come out this year, it's not gonna be the end of the world. But I think we're seeing like a change where people really value films that took time to make, you know? And you can tell always when you watch a film that had a lot of like thought and time put into it and they didn't rush it. I've always appreciated those films. Am I getting like philosophical today, guys? I gotta stop. Über diese Thema weiß ich eigentlich nicht so viel, aber yeah. I feel like I'm a little extra sensitive to it because I feel like I've just never been fast enough at anything. But then it's like, well, what is fast enough? There's always gonna be someone faster. Ich stimme dir voll und ganz zu. Qualität ist viel wichtiger als Quantität. Ja, das stimmt. Ja, das ist richtig. Ja. Weil nicht jeder glaubt das. Leider. I wish more people wanted that. All right, this is looking a little better. I feel like we're getting a decent blocking in. I'm having a hard time. I think I need to lighten up the dog in the back a little bit. Skylar, we gotta lighten her up a little. I think I did it too dark. Yeah. Like, if I look over at my other monitor, I see it from a distance. It's kind of helping me see where I'm going wrong. Alright, so we need to paint the window behind them now. I think I'm gonna go with like a grayish green color. So, ja, das ist gut, das passt gut. Der Supermarkt gegenüber hat einmal ein Zeichnenset mit vielen Stiften und Farben in Angebot. Ich hatte überlegt, es zu kaufen, aber ich glaube, das war zwar preiswert. Oh my gosh, Gecko, my pronunciation is getting worse. Das war zwar preiswert, aber keine gute Qualität. Ja. Ja, das stimmt. Es gibt sehr viel Kunststoffe, wie sagt man das? There's a lot of like art products, that's not the word I'm looking for. Like supplies, art supplies, die nicht so gut gebaut sind. Also, ich glaube, es ist nicht immer wichtig, die teuerste like art tools and stuff zu kaufen, aber es gibt einen Mittelgrund. Sagt man das? There's like a middle area where like sie eine gute Qualität sind und auch sie sind ein bisschen mehr teuer als die Anfänger, like Art Sets oder sowas. Aber es ist immer schwer zu finden, diese Art, die nicht so teuer sind und gut sind, aber ja, hopefully that makes sense. Also ich hatte überlegt, es zu kaufen, um auch ein bisschen malen zu lernen. Oh, das wäre schön. Aber dann kaufe ich mir lieber was Vernünftiges für etwas mehr Geld. Mittelweg. Ah, danke, Gecko. Mittelweg. Ja, der Mittelweg ist sehr gut. Yeah, I bought, so I don't have it with me. I can show you. Like, I don't know if you wanna, like, do you wanna start with sketching or if you wanna paint? Was magst du lieber? Zeichnen oder malen? So, das ist wichtig zu wissen. Aber I have these graphite pencils. Also, ich benutze Englisch jetzt, weil es wird ein bisschen schwer zu erklären auf Deutsch. These graphite pencils, I wanna say, were pretty affordable, and they're. Ich werde mit Zeichnen anfangen, denke ich. Das ist ein sehr guter Ort zu anfangen, glaube ich, weil man kann eigentlich alles. Also man kann. How do I explain this? You can almost paint with your pencil, right? Like you can capture anything with just a pencil. So I think that's a really good start. But I got these, let me see if I can get it to focus. I don't know if they were like an Italian or French brand. There we go. And I think I got it on Amazon, but if you have like an art store, they might have them, and it was a set. So it came, I would recommend getting, like graphite is a good way to start, or charcoals, but get different hardnesses. So let me show you. I brought 3, actually like the whole set at home, and they come in like a rectangle tin, but each pencil has a different hardness. So this is like an 8B I brought, which is darker and softer. And then the harder the pencil gets, the lighter the graphite's gonna be. So let me show you here. Although, I'm not gonna lie, the 8B is gonna look pretty similar to the 5B. But I'm hoping this will show you guys kind of what you can do, because no matter how hard I push down with this one graphite pencil, it's only gonna go so dark. So it's important to know that like you will have some limitations, but if you get a set with a variety of hardnesses, let me try and move this. Yeah, so the darkest one is like an 8B, and then the lightest one, which has a harder graphite, is a 2H. And I usually, when I'm doing watercolor sketches, or even Gecko, when you're starting your sketches, use your lightest, hardest graphite pencil, and then you can go in again with your darker ones to start to shade. But it really gives you that freedom to like slowly get down your sketch and then not be too committed to the lines. But then once you get into these darker ones, then you're a little bit more committed. But it gives you a nice range of values because I think when you start sketching, one of the most like things, like when I had to think of like something that I wish I would have done as a beginner is like you can do everything with graphite pencils or charcoals, whichever you choose. Like you can, except for like learning color mixing, like you can pretty much, you can do everything. Like I'm sure you've seen like you can look up people who like paint only in black and white, and they're just like beautiful paintings, and it really builds a good foundation in your head for paying attention to values, which is something I actually learned way later down the road. And so with starting with the pencil sketches, it's a really good way. Okay, danke, gut zu wissen. Das war mir nicht klar. Ja, also als ich ein Anfänger war, wusste ich nicht, dass es einen Unterschied zwischen Graphite Pencils gibt. Ich wusste das nicht, bis ich, glaube ich, nach 3 oder 4 Jahren mit Graphite Pencils zeichnen hatte. Ich hatte immer nur like a school pencil, like just like a regular graphite pencil like you just use for handwriting always. Das habe ich immer benutzt. Also dann habe ich auf, glaube ich war, I think I was in Blick. There's an art store here in the US. I don't know if they're in Europe. There's a Blick art store. Und ich habe bemerkt, dass es verschiedene Arten von Graphite Pencils gibt. And it was like, mind blown moment. Also ich wünsche, ich hatte das früher gewusst. Das weiß ich nicht. Aber ja, jetzt weiß ich, die gibt verschiedene Arten. I think in the whole set there was like 10. So really nice options. And I can't, back when I bought it, granted things are a lot more expensive now, I think it was only like $10. And these have lasted me a really, really long time. This one is the one I use the most, and you can compare it to this one, which I've never sharpened. I've barely used it. So yeah. All right, chat, that's my that's my graphite pencil. I guess rant, I don't know what you want to call it. It's my graphite pencil explanation for the day. Yeah, they're really fun. I think that's a really good spot. Not spot. Spot, yes, that's right. It's a good spot to start. Ein guter Wort zu Anfang. Ja, mein Englisch und mein Deutsch sind jetzt ein bisschen vermischt und mein Kopf jetzt mischt Deutsch mit Englisch. Also jetzt mache ich keinen Sinn auf beide Sprachen. Und das ist nicht gut. Chat, I'm like mixing the two languages and now I don't make sense in both languages. Where did I go wrong? Ich glaube, es wird noch schwieriger, wenn ich besser auf Spanisch sind. Dann wird es mit 3 Sprachen ein bisschen mischen haben. Oh my goodness. It's gonna get rough, chat. No, I feel like the music got really quiet. Danke für die Erklärung. Ich werde mal schauen, ob ich ein gutes Bleistift-Set finde. Yeah, it was I could probably see any set, honestly. There's so many brands that they're good. Like there's, I mean, you're always gonna find artists who like stand by a certain brand, and I think that's just normal. I use a lot of the brands that my art teachers used just because I was like, oh, I gotta see them in real life. I gotta see how they looked. But I mean, I feel like with the graphite pencils, you really can't go too wrong. You know, you find like a good, even like, I think mine was like a student set. I don't even know if they're like professional level graphite pencils. And they honestly were good. I painted for like years with like student grade watercolors, and I still paint with them. Like you see a little bit of difference with the pigment, but I think with graphite there's really not gonna be not really a big difference. I could be wrong. Chat, if anyone knows more about graphite pencils, please educate us. Ich weiß nicht alles. Ich weiß nur, was ich mit meiner eigenen Bleistift Stifte bemerkt habe, wie sie funktioniert und was ist gut und was nicht gut ist. Alright, I'm not happy with the background. We've got like another 15-20 minutes of stream, I think. Kennst du die Marke Faber-Castell? Yes! Das ist eine deutsche Marke für Schreibwaren wie Bleistifte und Buntstifte. Ja, glaube ich habe die Buntstifte von Faber-Castell. Sagt man das right? Faber? Ich habe das immer mit einem englischen Akzent gesagt. Ich weiß nicht warum. Faber-Castell. Ich glaube, ich habe... Also, wenn ich zurück nach Hause gehe, ich soll einen Stream machen, wo ich meine Art Mediums zeige. Und dann ich kann euch zeigen, die Brands, die ich benutze. Aber glaube ich habe die Buntstifte von Faber-Castell. Und sie sind sehr, sehr nett, aber ich weiß nicht, wie man die eigentlich benutzen soll. Also, I think I was talking about this. Sorry, Gecko, I gotta switch to English. I think I was talking about this earlier on one of my streams where I never learned how to really use them well. So it'd be kind of fun to do that on stream. But yeah, I really like them. I think they're a good brand. I think I've had a couple of their stuff before. I think I'm gonna make this a little darker. Oh, these brushes are just not working for me. Oh, this has a nice texture, chat. Yeah, I don't know if I translate this, guys, but I think what I might do when I get home is do a stream where I show you guys some of my... Well, I want to do one where I show you guys all my paintings that I've made over the years and kind of talk about what I've learned, and then also show you guys some of the the brands that I use. Not that that's super important, but if you're not sure where to start and you want to see what paints look like maybe the way the texture is, or I don't know, anything like that, you can see whichever ones I'm using and give them a try. Most of the stuff I have is all affordable because I'm not loaded with money, chat. So that's the upside. So pretty much everything I show you will be more affordable. Pretty much stuff students would be able to buy. I would say this, me and my brother talk about this often, that you don't need super expensive equipment to make art or to make music necessarily. You can, I mean, you see people play the drums on buckets, you know what I mean? And it sounds great. Also, ja, man braucht nicht immer die teuerste Sachen, Kunst zu machen. You can make I've seen people make literally amazing art with just crayons. So, whatever you have, guys, just use what you have, and then if you ever have more funds to put into it, then you can, but it's not that important. Because the funny thing is, when I first got into painting and drawing, I thought I needed all this stuff, but in the end of the day, this is how I think you've been doing it long enough, is you're gonna have 5 different either brushes you like to use, pencils, pens, whatever, and those are going to be the only ones you use. You're going to have drawers full of other supplies that you never use, and you're going to pretty quickly find out which are the ones you actually need and like using. But I mean, the hard part is the only way to know is to use them. But yeah, if I had to speak to my older, younger self, I'd be like, Emma, you don't need to buy this. You can, you can start with this. So, not that I 100% recommend just using crayons, because you will reach your limits, right? But if you really wanted to push yourself, because I don't think crayons layer very well. Now, like, what I like to call, like, the adult version of crayons is, like, oil pastels. And those blend nicely. Those I would really like to try. But I haven't done it yet. I think I'm gonna just... You know what, chat? Hold up. Maybe what we gotta do... Let me skim my eyes a little bit here. It's actually not that much darker than the skyline. I shouldn't have made this so dark. Oh, and you know what? This line doesn't come forward, it goes behind this section of the ceiling of the car. Or I guess the roof, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm gonna use cooler blues down here in this green. Chat, I think I got too distracted thinking about... I started thinking about, like, everything I did when I started painting. And then I wasn't thinking about what I was physically doing here. My, like, brain warped into another dimension. Alright, I think we're just gonna use, like, thicker texture here. And then let's grab... I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna just use this brush here. I'm gonna grab this section. And I'm just gonna lighten it up. But only around this edge here. We can still see the texture. And then I'm gonna do that up here too. This is the beauty of working digitally with the lasso tool. Alright, let's go back to our blues. I'm gonna go slightly more green. Maybe a little more white. Oh my gosh, that's already looking better. Okay, that's definitely better. Alright, now for the seats, let's darken. I think I'm gonna use like this. I'm just gonna darken this a little bit in here. And around this side. But then we're gonna slowly get lighter. Maybe not too much. Because the light's gonna like bleed in from the edges of the window here. I think we need to start thinking about lighting a little bit more. And then let's go a little bit warmer in the shadows. So how about our highlights? Because the light that's gonna be coming in is gonna be from the sky. So that light's gonna be, we're gonna have that bounce light be like blue. But then to contrast it, what if we do some like warmer shadows? I kind of like the idea of that. And then for the dogs, definitely gotta lighten Skylar up a little bit here. And here too. Get some sunlight hitting the side of her face. And then her ears are slightly darker. Even more darker than that. Now in the reference, honestly, guys, look at this. There's like barely any difference in value between like this section here and here. Or at least that's what it looks like. Let's color pick it and find out. Okay, let's watch. Oh, actually, chat. Oh, actually, never mind. Not that much of a difference. It's like a tiny bit. It really depends on what you pick. Now, there is a little, like, there's a curvature of the part of the door there, so that's why we're seeing it a lot lighter here, but after it turns, it's pretty much the same. So we can try and copy that curvature a little bit. That might look nice. Like, we go in with this dark... Oops, wrong layer. We go in with this. Darken it up. See how we get that edge. I'm just gonna hit it with a little green. Because we're getting that mix of like the reddish warm to here. Alright, I'm also gonna do what's not in the photo, and I think I'm gonna lighten the top of her head a little bit. Maybe not that much. Alright, for Tina, I definitely think we need to rework her eyes. They're not exactly in the right place. The proportions are not matching her face too well. I think we do need to add a little bit of green tones back into Skylar though. Sky is a bit more of like we call her like peanut butter like color, like her ears, but her ears are like peanut butter colored, and then it's like a lighter version of that. Where Tina's more like white, like a cooler white color. Where Sky's like a warm creamy color. But not too warm. So I think in her lighter areas we need to make sure we have still that like greenish blue light we're bouncing. And then when it comes to her ears, we can get a little bit warmer. Just a little bit there. Alright, I don't also like these front seats. I think they need to be lightened up a little bit here. There is actually a little detail to them. Where like the edge comes over, so we're seeing that a bit. Maybe see a little bit less on this side. I think it actually needs to come up a little bit more. Let's color pick here. Because if we follow the curvature, yeah, needed to come up a little bit. Let's make this sketch a little bit more transparent. Alright, I feel like we're getting closer, chat. I think it is definitely getting closer to how it is. Now, we talked about adding some of the chromatic aberration, like that's here in this tree over in this section. I don't know if it's too early to start adding that. I think I just want to do it because it's gonna be fun. But sometimes that's not a good idea. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna hit these edges with a little bit of color. Oh shoot, chat, I'm drawing that on the sketch. No wonder. I was like, man, these aren't very saturated. And slowly blend it up into here a little bit better. Okay, let's look how theirs was. Theirs are almost on the pinkish side. It's pretty high saturation. It's gonna look a little ridiculous right now, but we're gonna get it smoothed out, don't worry. We're gonna do this thing. Alright, now let's go with like this purplish color for the bottom section. And then I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of blue here on the edge. Now for the back window. I feel like Tina's really throwing me off because I look very much like her. Ich wünschte, ich konnte so malen wie du. Oh, danke, Gekko. Das freut mich. Um ganz ehrlich zu sein, manchmal, ich gucke, ja, ich glaube, das ist richtig, an meine eigene Gemälde und manchmal glaube ich nicht, dass ich das gemacht habe. Und ich weiß nicht, ob das, weil ich immer noch nicht so, how do I say, selbstbewusst sind. Und ich weiß nicht, ob in die Zukunft ich mehr selbstbewusst mit Malen sein, like more confident if I'll ever be. But it's funny how like, I think I should probably explain this in English because I'm like lacking the words for it. It's like painting is weird. It's like you never feel like you reach like what you're like you're like you get closer and closer, but it's never like you never feel like you got there. So like it's funny like to hear someone say wish they could paint like me, because like I still feel like I feel like I don't want to paint like me. I don't know if that makes any sense. But I honestly I enjoy hearing that because it reminds me that like I'm making progress. Slow but sure. Aber das Wichtigste ist, dass ich Spaß habe, während ich male. Ich glaube, das ist das Wichtigste. Aber ich glaube, du kannst das auch so gut wie ich malen, Gekko. Wenn du ein bisschen studierst und Übungen machst, dann du kannst das auch machen. Ja, ich habe immer geglaubt, dass man besonders talentiert, ich glaube, dass es richtig sein muss, um gut zu malen und klug sein soll oder sowas. Alle diese Stereotype es gibt, die ja, man haben muss, um gut zu malen oder was. Ich habe eben gehört, als ich jung war, als ich noch klein war, dass meine jüngere Schwester und ältere Schwester, sie können sehr gut zeichnen und malen. Und meine Familie haben immer gesagt, dass they had like that artistic ability, and that some people like don't have it. But it's funny. Danke, dass du mir Mut machst. Ich hoffe, dass ich mal die Zeit finden werde, es wirklich zu lernen. Ja, das wäre sehr schön, Gekko. Ich glaube, du wirst es sehr gern. You're really gonna like doing it. Du wirst es gern machen. Weiß nicht, wie man das sagt. My German's getting worse, but ja, also es ist wichtig. Ich glaube, was ich von Kunst gelernt habe, ist, dass man wirklich nicht geborene, wie sagt man das? You don't have to be born with the talent. Man muss nicht mit diese künstlerisch, ich glaube, das ist richtig. Künstlich ist like artificial. Künstlerisches Talent geboren sind. Man muss nur die Leidenschaft haben und es weiterzubringen und Sachen zu versuchen. Und ja, das ist die wichtige Sache, weil beide meine Schwestern waren sehr talentiert, als sie noch klein war. Ich war nicht. Also sie wollten nicht, dass ich mit sie... They didn't want me to color in their coloring books because I couldn't color in the lines. Aber es ist jetzt lustig zu sehen, dass sie beide nicht weiter mit Kunst oder ja, they didn't do anything more with art. Aber ich habe angefangen zu malen, als ich 18 war und ich habe Bob Ross Videos geschaut und es hat wirklich so Spaß gemacht. Und ja, ich hatte die Lust, meine oh, you taught me how to say skills, but now I can't remember. Ja, ich habe gelernt, dass wenn man die Zeit dazu bringt und yeah, you just keep going. I feel like I'm just gonna have to explain this in English, but you just keep going, guys. And it doesn't matter if you're not born with the talent, essentially. Like, if you have the passion for it and you like it, then like you just keep doing it, and like don't think too much about like, oh, I'm doing this slower than others, or maybe like I'm not that good at it. Like, as long as you're enjoying it and you keep asking yourself questions like, oh, well, how do I do this? How do I do this? Just keep following those questions, and you know, step by step, you're gonna get better. At least that's what I'm still doing now. And I feel like it's helping me advance slowly, but I don't know. That's my like art rant. Bob Ross ist total cool, eine echte Ikone. Ja, wirklich. Ich fand seine Landschaftsbilder immer total faszinierend. Es sah bei ihm immer so leicht aus. Ja, also Gecko, du solltest Bob Ross wieder schauen und mit ihm malen. Es ist richtig, richtig Spaß. Also sehr, sehr important, aber sehr wichtig, dass man mit like, you have to use oil paints. Als ich angefangen bin, Bob Ross Paintings zu malen mit ihm, habe ich Acrylics benutzt, und sie wird zu schnell trocknen und es ist fast unmöglich, die Farben zu mischen on the canvas. Like, it's way too hard. So make sure that you get oil paints, Gecko. Because I was like trying to blend the acrylics on the canvas and they dried in like seconds. But it is really, really fun. You should try it sometime. Just get like even if it's a like really cheap oil set, it's still really fun. Because a lot of the techniques they do work, and it's like it turns out really good. I mean, never as good as Bob Ross's ones, but it's enough to really like encourage you to keep going. So I think that's one of the best part about Bob Ross's stuff. Okay, so for this top ceiling part, I think we need to darken it up. But I want to add a little cool blue here on the edge. Alright, we're after 4 chat. We are definitely nowhere near having this finished. But that's okay. We did our darndest. I really wish I could have gotten it farther. But I think we have a good base here. It'll be interesting to... Maybe we'll do it again on Friday. I'm not sure what we're gonna do tomorrow. We might work on this again. But it's interesting to see always when you open up like a file a day later, or oh my gosh, my German's mixing again, or like a couple weeks later, you're gonna see a lot of things you didn't notice while you're working on it. So auf welchem Papier zeichnet man eigentlich am besten mit dem Bleistift? Nicht auf normalen Druckpapier, oder? Also für diese Frage gibt es viele verschiedene Antworten. Manche Leute sagen, dass du bestimmte Papier haben musst, aber ich benutze sehr oft Druckerpapier, und das ist total okay. Besonders wenn man lernt und jeder fertiges Bleistift Gemälde sind nicht im Museum sein. Sie sind näher für, dass du ein bisschen mehr to get more comfortable with drawing and you know Übung macht. Also es ist nicht wichtig, dass die Papier langfristig jahrelang nachgibt. Also there's different ich muss auf Englisch erklären. There's different paper that have there's like, it has to do with the acidity. I'm not 100% sure on the science. You might want to look it up. But like certain paper is what they call archivable. And so this paper is gonna last a really long time before it breaks down, just over time. I don't think like printing paper does. But I use printing paper like all the time. I still use it. When I was doing my like really beginning silly duck videos, like I was doing that all on printer paper. So I wouldn't say it's very important. Like I say just use it. And then as you get, you know, further along, there's different paper thicknesses. So it's kind of fun to try like different stuff like that. But thickness doesn't matter too much when you're doing like graphite drawing, just because it doesn't like sink through the page. Like, you know how I was having trouble with the watercolors and gouache, how they would like bleed through? Because this is not watercolor paper. This is pretty much like printer paper. Sorry, this is gonna be a really long answer. But I say use the printer paper, and then as you get more experience, if you want to try like more like art paper, I guess the only differences you're gonna find too is texture. When you're talking about doing graphite or charcoals. So like this paper is really smooth. This is like printing paper. But my watercolor paper has like a deeper, they call it like a tooth to the paper. I'm not sure what it's called in German. There's a lot of like really specific words I don't know. But it's essentially just like a texture of how deep like the texture is. So the deeper the tooth, the more texture you're gonna see when you're drawing. I feel like I should grab, I mean, you probably know what I'm talking about. I might do a stream where we just do some like paper drawings, not paper, graphite drawings. But yeah, I say just use your printer paper and you're gonna be totally fine, especially in the beginning. And it should work totally fine. Ja, das stimmt tatsächlich. Bei mir auf der Arbeit haben wir ein großes Archiv und alle Dokumente dort müssen in säurefreien Kartons abgelegt sein. Ja, damit sie sicher vor Schädlingen, Pestwürmern sind. Ah, aber danke, ich werde dann erst mal Druckpapier nutzen. Ja, Gecko, es scheint, als ob du eigentlich viel mehr über Papiersorten wisst als ich. You know a lot more about it than I do, actually, Gecko. So yeah, I think you're in good hands. You know what's better than I do, actually. I have been meaning to like look into it more, but yeah, I say just start, and if you want to try something new, just try it then, but you definitely don't need it to start. Oh, this brush is lagging out too much. Let me try using this one. I'm gonna use the splatter brush a little. Nein, ich wüsste näher das mit der Saura tatsächlich. Sonst nichts, du weißt mit Sicherheit mehr. Ah, das weiß ich nicht ganz genau, aber danke. I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I want to learn more about paper types. I know more about watercolor paper than I know about drawing paper. So, über Wasserfarbenpapier weiß ich viel mehr, weil zuvor ich meine große Wasserfarbenpapier, like book thing, kauft, hatte ich sehr viel recherchiert. Über welche Art soll ich kaufen? Es gibt also Hot Press, Cold Press und jede Brand, like, sie hat ihre eigene Art von Papier. Also ein Brand hat Hot Press oder Cold Press und sie sind ganz anders als die andere Brand, die dieselbe Namen für die Papier benutzt. Also ja, es hat eine lange Zeit genommen, bis ich endlich es gekauft hatte. Es wäre besser, wenn ich in die echte Geschäft wäre und dann konnte ich die Papier mit meiner Hand berühren und sehen, wie es fühlt und wie dick die Papier waren. Aber ich habe kein Kunstgeschäft. Ich glaube, das ist richtig, die in die Nähe sind. Also ich muss mehr als 14, na, nicht 14, ja, das, 40? Ja, 40 Minuten fahren, um ein Kunstgeschäft zu finden, also habe ich online gekauft. So if you can find your paper like in store and actually feel it and see it, that is literally the best. But if you have to buy it online, just watch a lot of like a lot of YouTubers, like artists, will do like paper comparisons on similar papers, and those people are literally doing God's work. Like those are so helpful. So I really recommend those. All right, chat, what do we think? Let's do some key takeaways for what we need to do next week. Because there's a lot. Or not, it could actually be Friday we do it. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we need to do the background lighter. Excuse my bad handwriting, guys. We need to do dogs lighter. And the car and mirror, I think darker. We just need a little bit more contrast there, I think. Let's see. Das sieht jetzt schon echt super aus. Danke, Gecko. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. I feel like it's not where I thought it was gonna be by the end of this stream, but I need to accept. I'm in the stages of acceptance. Or the stages of grief, and I'm in the one of acceptance. Yeah, but guys, I think also too, we're gonna do next week is we need to, I think, saturate more. I want the greens, like the edges maybe to be a bit more green in like this section. And I think not this section. I'm hoping I remember what these all mean next time I open it up. Like, I think what if we do more saturation in this section here? Maybe I need to draw the brighter colors so you guys can see. Like in that zone, that way even more we're drawing our eyes into like the main focal point. So we'll do higher detail in there and higher saturation. And then on the outer parts, we're gonna do a little bit lower saturation, except for in the areas where the edges meet the car here. Those I want to hit with like this section over here, like that chromatic aberration that we have in this photo over here. But other than that, I think we might have to desaturate the sky a little bit. Even though I saturated it a lot when I edited the photo, I think we need to just turn it back a little, just so that we're not taking away too much from the dogs. Granted, this could change when I open it again, and I may not even do that. But that's what I'm thinking we might do. I'm thinking that might be the change we do. But I think this is it for today, guys. I need to step away from this, because you can't work too long on one piece. You start to go crazy. But Gecko, it was fun chatting with you. It was good to practice my German. I felt like I was like, man, I keep saying I need to like do some like grammar study sessions, and then I never do. And then when I talk with you, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really need to practice my grammar. Maybe this weekend I will. I keep saying that and then I don't. But yeah, let me know if you end up getting some graphite pencils or charcoals or whatever you choose to do. Let me know how it goes. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask me. Danke für den tollen Stream, hat echt wieder Spaß gemacht und mach dir keine Sorgen, dein Deutsch ist echt gut. Danke, Gecko. Danke. Du hast mir sehr, sehr viel geholfen, um mein Deutsch zu verbessern. Also, danke sehr, Gecko. Alright, chat. Everybody, I hope you have a nice rest of your Wednesday. Yes, it's Wednesday. And I'll be seeing you guys all tomorrow, I'm pretty darn sure. And we may be working on this again, or we might be working on the children's book, because today I finished the very last page of blocking in the color fills. So that means we need to go back to the beginning of the book and start working on shading, rendering out like lighting and details. And so yeah, we're back to the beginning and we're gonna work our way through to the end. Definitely not all in one stream, but that's where we're at with the book. So, yo, Joe, I made it. Now I can work while you do it. Chat, how do we break this to Joe? Joe, I'm literally saying my goodbyes. You're late. Chat, this is the composer who writes all the music we listen to. Just so you guys know, if you haven't, go check out his YouTube channel. His music's also on Spotify. Highly recommend. Or Apple Music, whatever you have. Yeah, rip Joe, sorry. You're missing the stream. But don't worry, I should be back tomorrow and Friday as well. But it's been real, everyone. I don't think there's any more announcements. Yeah, but the book's going good. We're pretty much finished. But everybody, bye Vissom, Neseman. It's good talking with you, Gecko, Joe. See you on the flip side tomorrow. Alright, chat. It's been real. Until tomorrow or Friday, I'll keep you posted on my Instagram stories if I don't end up streaming tomorrow. And then I'll be seeing you guys on Thursday. Alright, everybody. It's been real. Until next time, like I always say, keep on creating. Oh my word. Not me not being able to find the end screen. Okay, this time for sure, chat.